Hey hackers, welcome back. As promised, we are back with the full workshop on how to add Web3 notification in your application. Just before that, refresher, Ethereum push notification service enables notifications that are tied to your wallet address for every Web3 blockchain, not only just Ethereum. So the name is kind of a misnomer. And these notifications you can essentially send from anywhere, no matter if you're a smart contract, if you're a protocol, if you're a backend, if you're a DApp, doesn't matter. All of those assets can send notifications out to your users who have wallet address in an open platform agnostic way, which essentially means that these notifications, just like Ethereum data, can be accessed from any crypto wallet or any crypto front end. And that's what we are going to focus the workshop on. Essentially, creating your channel, sending notifications, receiving notifications, and integrating notifications on your app. Because, yes, everything starts with a notification, but not this video. This video starts with another video, which is a feel good piece of advice. Awesome. Hope you liked it. I am going to just skip these slides and jump directly to workshop time because you're going to need a lot of time to make sure that we go through all the feature sets and all the ways by which your application can work. So the first step of the journey, well, it always starts by going to staging.epns.io. There are a few prerequisites before you can send a notification from your protocol. The first is that you have to create a channel. In essence, any service, any protocol, any Web2 service as well. If they want to send notifications out to their wallet addresses, the first step is creating a channel. A channel is essentially the way by which users of Web3 wallets can come and see the service and even opt in to receive notification from them. And that's why it's required. Some other things that I've done for this video is I've created a channel Alice. I've created a user Bob. Channel Alice, I've given him Coven Eth, and I've also given him Mumbai Matic Testnet because Channel Alice is going to be a multi-chain channel. So yeah, the first step starts from visiting staging.epns.io, going to developer. Actually, let me refresh. But yeah, yeah, going to developer, going to create channel. Now it's connected to channel Alice instead of channel salary, which was already made, and that's why you were seeing the channel over there. Okay. Now, when you are creating your channel, you do need to keep in mind two things. The first is that you need to have it Coven because the channel, even multi-chain, the first step is creating the channel on Ethereum and then connecting it to whatever blockchain you want to connect. We are supporting Polygon right now, but in the future, we'll support a lot more. So, going to create a channel. I also need DAI to create the channel, 50 DAI to be specific. We do have faucets over here, and I'm just going to confirm that transaction. But yeah, in case the faucets are not working, the best way is to go to EPNS.io, scroll down, hit our Discord, and bug our awesome community managers for giving you some free testnet, ETH or DAI or Mumbai Matic testnet as well. Let's also start a timer just because I'm curious, like how long I'll take to get this workshop done. But yeah, let's see MetaMask. So it's minted. Next step is filling the channel info out. I do have some cheat sheets prepared So I'm just going to copy and paste this. Let's do ETH Online 2022 V3. You don't have to change Ethereum Coven. Like you will see either Ethereum over here or Polygon. In essence, if you're only intending to send notifications on Ethereum, then you don't have to change this out. But if you want to be multi-chain, and that is something you have to decide right now because this is immutable part of the step, then you have to select whatever chain you want to be live on. So for this case, we are going to create a ETH online channel for Polygon Mumbai. For the channel address, it doesn't have to be the same channel address. It can be different as well. But for now, let me copy the channel address, which is going to be the same on Ethereum and Polygon, is the same channel alias address. Next thing I will do is I will just add a description, right on V3, and then you have to fill in the channel website. So I'm going to copy and paste it over here as well. All right, the last step is essentially getting the images. So I'm going to get channel images. I've already prepared that, so I'll just drag and drop in. I'll crop the image and create channel. Creating channel essentially will let you go through two steps. The first is approval of the DAI that you staked, that we just minted. And then after that, your channel is essentially a JSON payload that is getting made and getting uploaded to IPFS. Then we have the channel identity that is getting generated. Identity basically tell our nodes how to understand what format the channel JSON payload is and where it is stored and how to fetch it out. And once that identity is generated, it interacts with the EPNS core smart contract to ensure that your channel is recorded in the smart contract. And that is just about it. After that, you can access your channel. There's one more step that happens when your channel is a multi-chain channel. That second step is the verification of the channel on the other chain. So give it a second or two. It usually takes 5 to 10 minutes, but sometimes it's really fast. Uh, Turns out it was really fast right now. So the next step is verification of your channel on the other multi-chain that you picked. So I'm going to change the network. Make sure you have Mumbai testnet added. If you haven't added it, you can add it by just Googling around it or going to Matic test Polygon network and seeing how it's done. So I have switched my MetaMask to uh, Mumbai testnet, and all I have to do is now verify my alias address. This is to ensure that I do have ownership of both the addresses that I put, one through which the channel was created, and the other through which the channel will be able to send uh, uh, notifications to whatever blockchain or whatever multi-chain you're deploying to. Give it a minute and that should be it. And now your channel is created. Now, the other thing that we need to do is once you have created the channel, you do need to ask your users to essentially come and opt into your channel. See, opt-in essentially allows, while it's gasless, opt-in is gasless, but it also allows the users to say that, hey, I want notification from this channel. And that is really needed in Web3. It's also needed in Web2. And but more than that, it's needed in Web3 because Web3 has shared username. So that is where user Bob comes into picture. So I'm going to switch to user Bob. And of course, I'm going to do a little refresh so that user Bob address is reflected. Now I'm going to search for our channel right now. The V3 one which we created, the user Bob will now go ahead and just opt into this channel. And that's it. Now we can send notifications to user Bob. The notifications to user Bob will appear in user Bob's inbox, but they're cooler ways to get the notifications. As I said, we are an open network, which essentially means that any crypto wallet or any crypto frontend or even extensions or any Web 2.5 platform can send these notifications out. So what I'll do is I'll go to docs.epns.io/developers. I'll go to testing, send notification out. And for this demo, we are going to install our staging extension. Our staging extension, uh, again, only requires you signing in or user Bob signing in to his wallet address uh, or his public wallet address. So to get started, I'll just paste user Bob public wallet address and give it a second. And yeah, user Bob is signed in on uh, and can receive all the notifications. One thing I already did as a prerequisite as well was I essentially signed user Bob in the same way to our mobile staging app also. Just remember, this is a protocol. So these are just one of the many front ends that can get these notifications across to you. And it's not a necessity or a requirement to have our app or extension installed. It's just there if you want to play around with things or if the other user wants to see the instant value add they can get. All right, returning back, user Bob is already signed into the extension. So we can switch back to channel Alice. And the first thing we need to do with channel Alice is send a notification out to user Bob. So I can essentially take user Bob account address and I can instantly send a notification out to user Bob. This is the manual way of sending the notification out. Of course, we have automated ways from smart contract, from backend, from JavaScript SDK as well, and even from the graph. So yeah, the best way to do it is just go to send notification if you're doing it manually. Now you will see three options over here. I'll just explain it briefly. So broadcast means you are sending notifications to all the users who have opted into your channel. Subset means that you're sending notification to a group of users who have opted into your channels, but not all. And targeted means that you're just sending a notification out to that particular user. I'll go for targeted over here. Now, notifications, we wanted to make it as cool as Web3 and then some more, which basically means that notifications are not just text, they can be so much more. For example, you can have an image or a YouTube video in the notification also, or a call to action as well. And these notifications are composable, which essentially means that you can propose new formats by which these notifications can be extended. And for example, you can say that we should have a type by which we can send encrypted notification. And if that type is accepted by the community, then it will be adopted and you can then send encrypted notification or whatever, or encrypted transaction within a notification. We already support encrypted notifications. So yeah, but yeah, for this, let's send a simple message. So hey, online hackers, this is the new workshop. Hope you guys like it. For media URL, let's do the merge media URL only. And call to action, let's do EPNS.io. So yeah, once you also see the preview notification. So if it looks good, all you have to do is click on send notification. It opens up the MetaMask notification tab. And all you have to do is sign it gaslessly. And that's it. In the background, the notification is sent, and you can see it on coming on the EPNS mobile app as well. And you can see it on the Chrome extension as well. But yeah, that's boring. Like sending manual notification is not as cool as integrating notifications directly on your smart contract, right? So that's what we are going to do next. Again, docs.epns.io, the best bet. I'll go to sending notifications. You, by the way, have all the various ways by which you can send notification out. So for this, I'm going to go to smart contract. I already cheated a bit. So the smart contract is already there, but let me revert it back to the normal one. So this is a normal ERC20 smart contract. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to append my smart contract to add push notification capabilities. So going back, the first thing I have to do is import the push contract interface or push com interface. It's very easy. It just requires three things. First, it requires the address of the channel for which you are sending the notification for. Then it requires the address of the recipient to the to whom the notification is intended to. If you pass the address of the recipient as the address of the channel, then it's treated as a broadcast notification. Subset we don't support just yet on smart contract. And then you have something which is called identity. So identity is actually the notification payload combined with some metabytes that decide from where the notification is coming from. If you want to learn more about identity, you can basically go to Notification Standard Basic and learn about the identity. Or if you want, you can go to Notification Standard Advanced and you can see all the various identity that we currently support and how we are sending it. So for this demo, we are just going to have a very simple identity, which is 0 is minimal identity. The next bit defines what type of notification it is. One is defined as a broadcast notification. 3 is defined as targeted. 4 is defined as a subset. Again, all of this is available in the notification standard basic. So you can see like what notification type is what and what identity type is what. And then of course it's just a title and body, which you have to do for minimal. So yeah, identity is this. So now I've imported the interface. Next thing I will do is I will go back to using smart contract. And once I've imported the interface, all I have to do is call that interface out wherever I'm sending, wherever I want to send a notification out to. So in this case, I want to send it out when a transfer is occurring for the token to whatever address is getting transferred to. Now, three things we have to change over here. Of course, the address to is who we want the notification sent to, but your channel address is not defined yet over here, right? So what we'll do is we'll go back to our channel. We'll make sure that our channel is copied and we'll come back to Remix and we'll paste the channel over here. Another thing we have to do is we have to enter the EPNS com contract address. And heads up, it might change whether you are on staging or Mumbai staging or Ethereum testnet or on Ethereum mainnet or on Polygon mainnet. The best way to find it out, again, docs.epns.io/developers, smart contracts, and go to EPNS contract address. Over here, we basically are deploying on Polygon Mumbai. So we'll copy the EPNS com address of Polygon Mumbai and just paste it over here. And yeah, that's it. It's good to go. The notification right now it's basically 0, which is minimal. It only requires title and body. 3 means targeted, so it's going to one person. And then title is, this is title. That's what will be displayed as title, and this is body is what it will be displayed as body. So this is very cool. It doesn't really spice things up, right? So I'm going to do exactly that. I want to essentially tell the person who will receive the notification what amount of tokens they are receiving and who sent them that token. And we actually have an example over here. So I'm going to copy and paste exactly that. So first thing, let's just copy the helper functions. The helper functions are nothing uh, but ways by which we can convert an address to a string, because converting an address to a string is required if you're sending it in the body, and converting the token uint into a string. And then the next thing we'll do is we will just copy these lines, which essentially changes the title and the body. So what we did now is 0 is minimal, 3 broadcast. For the next title, now that will be a transfer alert. And then the body will be made of array, some address, sent, the amount of tokens, push, because we are calling this token push to you. And that's about it. Our contract is ready. There are only two more things that you have to do to start receiving notifications via your contract. The first is, of course, deploying this contract out. So I just changed my MetaMask, or I just connected Remix to channel Alice. Now, what I'll do is I'll select push and I'll deploy it. Once this contract is deployed, like, and remember we said that EPNS takes protocol security very, very seriously. So, of course, any random smart contract cannot send notification on behalf of your channel. And that is the next step, which is basically once your contract is deployed, it's already deployed. So, the next step is basically adding your contract address as a delegate to your channel. So, a delegate essentially means that, let me do a refresh, or maybe close this site. We already have the site open. So yeah, a delegate is essentially anyone who is able to send a notification on behalf of your channel. And you can add multiple delegates or remove multiple delegates. But yeah, only a channel creator can add or remove multiple delegates. But once you add a delegate, that delegate can send notification on your behalf. So what we are doing right now is we are copying the contract address, the ERC contract address that we deployed, and we are adding it as a delegate to our channel. Give it some time for the delegate to be added. In the meanwhile, we'll also go to our MetaMask and import our ERC20 token that we deployed. So yeah, import token. And yeah, I think it's still taking some time to get the delegate added. So let's give it some time for the transaction to occur, and then we can get started. Matic, come on, Polygon gods, do it faster. All right. Meanwhile, while it's getting added, we are going to go back to documentation, and I can probably tell you about different things which you can do. So as I said, the first thing that you can do with EPNS is, of course, sending notifications out to your user, massively improving the UX and the UI for the user, and giving them a way to basically come back to their application when something important is occurring to them. The other thing you can do is, like the dApp which we are showing is just a front end that is interacting with the protocol. But the best way for your users will be that when they want to opt into the channel, they essentially don't have to come back to our DApp. So the next thing you can do is, of course, integrate at least the opt-in and the opt-out functionality on your front end. And you can also integrate notifications. We have a RESTful API, which can basically fetch all the users' notification, and therefore, making sure that the users, no matter even if they are on your DApp, are not missing any notifications out. Or you can just integrate notifications sent from your channel. That's your call. Then we have something called receiving notifications, which is for people who want to integrate these notifications on their extension or on their crypto wallets, or even if they want to build a Telegram bot or a Discord bot, wherein they receive the notification and then essentially send that notification out to a Web2 platform, maybe email, maybe Discord, maybe Telegram, if they want to. Then receiving notifications, specifically AWS SNS, is the best way to go. Coming back, hopefully, yeah, it's set. So let me just refresh it. All right, the delegate is here. Now we are going to send to Bob, because Bob is the one who has sent in to our extension. Let's say 250 push. Let's make Bob a little rich. And that, okay. Let's try to send it again. Okay, let's do it again. So sending, confirm. And yeah, if everything works, there you go. Bob just got an alert that someone, or someone sent 234 push to them. So yeah, that essentially look at the ways by which it can change the entire Web3 landscape. Now you can integrate notifications on your smart contract with just two lines of code. But more than that, malicious online on-chain governance can be prevented, because you can send a broadcast out. You can even send notifications out through your NFT marketplace. So that is what smart contract notification does. And we have those examples for you right over here on our developer doc, as well as under the examples. But yeah, let's say you don't want to send a notification from the smart contract because you are either doing a smart contract, because you are either doing a loan liquidation, which essentially you don't want to send a notification to a user when their loans are liquidated. That will be sad, but instead want to send it before, or because you are interacting or developing a service around a protocol which is already deployed. So what then? Well, essentially you can use the EPNS gasless SDK to send that notification out. It's a JavaScript SDK which you can play around. It supports both backend and front end. So in the backend, because you are running it locally, you need to provide the private key, which the SDK uses to essentially sign your JSON payload out. And that signed payload is what is sent to push node, not your private key. It always remains on your local host. And what we are going to look at is the Showrunners scaffold, which is just a very instant way of integrating EPNS SDK and uh, basically sending a notification out. So the first thing we have to do is go to how to set up your showrunners. I'm going to then clone that out. I've already cloned it out, so I'm not going to clone it out again. But yeah, all you have to do is run a git clone and it will be cloned out. Then do a yarn start. I'm going to open it up on Visual Studio Code. And then I'm going to go to env sample. I am going to create another env file out of it. This environment file will help me do a lot of things. I'm going to set up my showrunners environment at staging. Log level, I want debug. We want lots and lots of log. Ensure a project ID or secret, that I already have a docs version of it. By the way, Ensure project ID is now API key, and Ensure project secret is now API secret in the dashboard. Ideally, you don't need to provide Etherscan API or Alchemy API also. But yeah, if you provide it, it becomes more robust. And once I do that, all I have to do is run dev. It will not work. It will essentially do the setups and then just crash. So it basically said that Showrunner doesn't have any channel folder. So Showrunner's scaffold, it's basically a plug and play system wherein it provides everything you want. If you want to send a backend notification, and the only thing it asks for is a plug and play solution for your channels. So we do have sample showrunner channels stored over here, so you can just copy and paste one of it. I'm going to paste hello world, and now when I will run it, it will still error out because it will say that hello world has no wallets attached to them. And of course, because it needs a wallet to send a notification out. So I'm going to come to hello world keys. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill that up. So Alice channel, I'm going to fill this up. You can fill this up with your channel private key, or you can basically create just a new wallet, add it as a delegate to your channel, and use that private key as well, because that is also possible. And the next thing is the chain ID. So chain ID essentially helps us identify what blockchain it should go to. It's nothing but just uh, a way to say that, hey, I'm targeting EIP 155, which is when Ethereum and ETC chain ID got separated. Then I'm targeting what network. So for Polygon, it's 80,001. For Ethereum, it's 42 for Coven, one for mainnet. And that's just about it. To learn more about it, you can go to Showrunners and Hello World channel, and you can see like all the chain IDs that are supported. Uh, and yeah, if you want to learn even more about it, of course, advanced section of developer docs is the way to go. Now, going back, Redis connection has failed. So that happened because I didn't do a Docker Compose up. So let me do a Docker Compose up. Hopefully everything will be running. And now when I run it, voila, showrunner staging is live. So let's go through some of the things that we have in our Hello World. So first we have is Hello World AWS SNS channel or SNS.ts. This is basically this enables AWS SNS webhook if you require it to be. You can have it or omit it. That's your call. Hello World channel essentially is where you will write all your logic. Hello World jobs is essentially where you will have assign cron jobs wherever or at what time you want to call what sort of logic out. Roots basically help you debug. So roots enable Postman to send or call a logic out. I am going to use roots because roots will help us call a notification directly from Postman. So all I'm going to do is click a send, and yeah, notification is sent. And there you go. It's available over here. Hello, hackers. So again, you can read all about showrunners and this is the best way to get up and running if you're doing it from backend. You can read all about showrunners, how to set it up, what are the channel structure, just by going to docs.epns.io/developers and developer tooling. We also have Subgraph, but yeah, Subgraph has essentially resetted or sunsetted the Coven network for them. And we are now migrating to Gorally, but right after this hackathon. So because of that, unfortunately, the graph will not work for just this hackathon. But yeah, in case you want to see how to get the subgraph going for Ethereum mainnet, all you have to do is go over here using subgraph, and you can see that. The other thing is all of these notifications that we saw and how to do it. They are also available if you go to our repository, and if you go to push for hackers. I am going to pin this out so that you guys are able to see it right after the call. But yeah, so yeah, those are like some of the cool ways by which you can send notification out. We didn't go to EPNS SDK, but yeah, again, it's very easy to go through it. You also have the SDK tooling outlined over here with all the things, so you can do that. The next part of the journey, let's just directly jump in and create. Yeah, let's just directly jump in and create or integrate everything that we did, but now on our front end. So for that, I use create at app. I already created that out, and I already did a yarn stall. But yeah, that's all I did. Uh, Create at app basically is built to just give you a scaffold, which is based on Create React app, but with Web3 integrated. So all I'm going to do right now is do a do a start. So yarn React app start, and yeah, give it a second, and it should load the entire interface out. So while it's okay, it's loaded. So yeah, while it's loading, I mean now it's loaded. So let's go back again docs.epns.io/developer. I'm going to go to quick start. Yeah, and I'm going to add our SDK REST API because that is what we are going to use to get information about your channel and to also get information about the user who is going to your dApp and if they have opted in or not opted in to the channel. Optionally, you can also show them their notifications, but we are not going to cover that in this tutorial, though the SDK and the documentation covers that. So let me just go to packages, React app, and over here, I'm going to add a SDK. This is a requirement of Create at app. You cannot install a package on the root. You have to go to packages/React app and install it if you want to install a package for your app and not the outside structure that it supports. All right, so this is added. Uh, Now let's just start with the code. So one thing to remember is like the first thing I like to do is I like to change the Infura project ID. Otherwise, it will give you a lot of error. This is the project ID of create ETH owners or Paul, I think. And because it's so heavily used, the response is really throttled. So I want to make sure that it points to my Infura project ID. Then I'm going to come to app.js and I'm going to start tweaking this out. So first thing, we don't need the links. Let's just remove that out and give it a minute. It should probably reflect it. If it doesn't, yeah, let me refresh. It reflects. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat a bit over here as well, but yeah, again, push for hackers is the repo which has all the changes or which has all the examples that we are going for. So I'm going to go search for push for hackers, going to go to not receiving but front end integration, going to go to modified dApp and just copy. So, or not copy per se, but yeah. So first thing, after we install our REST API, we have to import it out. So this is what we are going to do. We are going to import this. Next thing is we want to fetch the channel information that we have, our channel information or Alice channel information, assuming that is Alice tab. And for that, we are essentially going to import or borrow some of the functions of use authors, including library also, because we are going to sign we are going to use some of the signing methods. But yeah, this is the first thing that we'll do. The second thing we'll do is for getting channel details, we are going to make sure that first we have the channel details handy. Alice channel is let's just copy Alice channel, go to code and make sure that Alice channel is there. Now, the next thing we are going to do is we are going to uh, get channel details for Alice channel. So I'm going to say channel details and set channel details. And I'm going to put this as, is it use state or set state? Yeah, use state. And use state is null for now because, of course, there's nothing that has come right now. Then I'm going to use effect. I'm going to call this effect. Yeah, I'm going to call use effect and yeah, use effect, and I want to use this effect when channel details are changed or when account is changed. I'm also going to say that if channel details, if not channel details, then only update channel details. Next, I'm going to write a function like const fetch data. This is a async function which I want to write, and this function will essentially fetch the entire data out. Now I'm going to go to quick start, not quick start, but I'm going to go to SDK API fetching user channel details. We want to fetch channel details. So let's just copy this, go back. So channel details, again, we are using the EIP format because multi-chain channel. Over here, the EIP should be 80,001 because it's a polygon channel. And I'm going to do your channel. And yep, that should be it. Let me call fetch data over here. And once the data comes, I'm going to just name it as data. Once that data comes, I'm going to console.log that data out. And after that, I'm going to set channel details with the data. So hopefully, if everything looks good, we should see it working. So, fresh. Okay, I made some. Yeah, that's why I like to copy. So fetch data async. This was fine. Uh, oh, I forgot to add a comma. That's it. All right. Give it a refresh, and yeah, now we can see our channel. Isn't it cool? All right. So now let's do some more things. So I want to essentially display this out. So I'll say if channel details, then just display my channel details out. So give it a refresh. Okay. Okay, channel details, maybe stringify it. So json.stringify and get this going. Awesome. Now we have the channel details. Another thing that we'll do is essentially, I'm going to just copy and paste now. But yeah, this is the next thing that we'll do. We'll create a way by which whoever is the user who logs in, we can fetch if they have opted into your channel or not. And based on that, we will give them the ability to either sign opt in or opt out. So I am going to just copy and paste on this because, of course, it's already there, so you guys can see it. But yeah, uh, I'm doing two things over here. First is I'm setting channel opt status, which is -1. -1 is undefined. And then I'm getting user details. I should set user details as well. So just heads up, this example doesn't follow like best coding practices. So follow the coding practices which you have. Don't go for this channel, this hacked example. But yeah, user detail, what I'm going to do is that first we will see if the account is available. If the account is available, then we see if the user detail are there with us or not. If the user detail are not there with us, we are going to fetch the user detail out. So that is where we are calling get subscription method. Again, you can find about it by going over here. So searching for channel, fetching user. Yeah, fetching user subscription is what you want. We want to see that what all channels a particular wallet address has opted into. Once we have that, we are basically checking if your channel is essentially present in the user opt-in or not. If it's present, then setting the user opt-in status to your channel as 1, otherwise setting it to 0. And next, we are essentially giving a button which checks if the channel, if you're the user who has gotten into your dApp, if they have logged in, if they have opted into your channel, then basically show them a opt out way and call the particular SDK library with the signer to opt them out or vice versa. Save it if everything looks good. Yeah. Now you have a gasless opt out because I'm signed in. Yeah, because I'm signed in with Bob, I guess. So yeah, because I'm signed in with user Bob, it's basically telling me to opt out. I am going to very quickly shift to user Bob and then essentially go to channels to verify that everything is working fine. So yeah, I'm opted in, and that's why it's showing me gasless opt out. If I let me just give it a refresh, and yeah, if I do a gasless opt out, let me connect the wallet again. Gasless opt out. Okay, yeah, because this is Mumbai testnet. So going back, yeah, what we did over here was opt out with, yeah, with Ethereum Coven. So I'm going to just change this to EIP42 from EIP42, which is Ethereum Coven. I'm going to change it to Polygon because I opted in on Polygon, right? And give it another try. Let me just change the use. Yeah. All right, let's try again. Ah, okay. I'm changing it too fast. So 8001. Let's do 8001 over here as well, and over here. All right. Then I didn't connect my wallet. So let me connect my wallet and now do a gasless opt out. And yeah, that's it. So if I refresh again over here and now I go to ETH online. Yeah, let me do a gasless opt-in. So I mean the subscribe, unsubscribe that we have made, I think the logic which we have made is a little I think we have swapped the logic out. But okay, well, it's not happening. Uh, let's let's try to do it by making sure because Ethereum is your primary channel. So I just want to make sure that we do Ethereum for the primary channel. Must match the active chain ID. So okay, let's do for let's do on Coven network this thing. So give it a refresh. Yes, let's opt out, sign in, and hopefully everything will work now. Yep, I'm opted out, and I do gasless opt-in and refresh again. And I am opted in. All right, so that's the thing. Like one thing to remember, I think because the primary channel address is always made on Ethereum, so over here pass in 42, and for the user address also pass in 42. I think you can pass 8001 as well. We are just going to check that out because, of course, live workshop are the best way to debug. Uh, so yeah, this is opt out. Yeah. So for the SDK subscribe and unsubscribe, I think you have to pass in the main chain, uh, which can be EIP42 for Coven, or which will be EIP1 for Ethereum. Yeah, if you do that, everything works fine. All right, so that's like some of the ways by which you could integrate the notifications on your front end. And then the last thing that we promised was that we are going to show you what if you want to build your own bot, wherein these notifications that are coming for Web3 wallet address, you want to send it to Telegram or WhatsApp or whatever. Well, for that, the only thing you need to do, like it's actually super fast. So the only thing you need to do is you basically need to go to, yeah, we do that through AWS SNS. So two things you have to do. you first have to create a SNS hook, and then you have to provide us with the SNS hook API URL so that we can get you whitelisted. Once you're whitelisted, every notification will start coming to your backend endpoint to consume, and you can consume it out. We have already created a boilerplate for you, so you can just copy that boilerplate and can just roll with it, or you can create your own. Of course, I've already copied the boilerplate and I've already did the yarn install. So first thing I'll do is I'll do a yarn start for this. And SNS app, we configured it to listen to port 6000. Another thing is because I'm running this locally, so I have to do tunneling. So ngdoc is something that I use for tunneling. Uh, it basically gives me a forwarding URL or a URL which is accessible from the internet to my system. Now, this forwarding URL is what you need to give it to us. How do you give it to us? Well, essentially, again, you go to EPNS.io, either fill in the contact form or best way, go to Discord, Worker Committee Manager. They will make sure to get it to you. Okay, returning back, I have this forwarding URL. So I will just set up or activate myself. When the activation will occur, what you'll see is a response that will come over here. So yeah, just I need to essentially, yeah. So imagine this time which we are taking. It's the time wherein your IP is getting whitelisted because that's what I'm doing on my secondary screen. Uh, all right. One thing to note, like while this is your forwarding URL, the way we have done the boilerplate is that it assigns a root of /SNS to your forwarding URL. You can see over here, like so. Essentially, your URL becomes like this is what you need to provide because this is where the authentication will go. Uh, just to make sure that you guys can see it clearly. Yeah, this is what you need to provide because ngdoc provided you with a URL and then /SNS is used as the route on which everything is happening. All right, go back and once the whitelisting occurs, what you'll see is a 200 OK. And once you see the 200 OK, the subscription is confirmed. And now the reason why I kept the showrunners opened was, oh, I didn't keep the showrunners open. But yeah, let me just go to front end. Yeah, so now let's go to showrunners or let's go back to showrunners. And this time around in the message, I want to say Web 2.5 activated. I mean, the messages is something that we just hard coded. Uh, that we just hard coded in the Hello World channel. It's not a requirement. So now we change the message out, and all it takes now is going to Postman and sending it out. And you can see the notification. And basically, as soon as we send it out, now you can receive and consume and do whatever you want with it. And of course, as with before, the notifications also make it to the extension and so on. All right, I think, guys, that's about it for the workshop. Uh, Let me share my screen again. I wanted to check with you guys what time it took. All right, a solid 55 minutes workshop. That's why probably 30 minutes was not enough. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, uh, or if you had any questions, the the best way to answer or to get answers to those questions is to go to Discord channel, either on the Eat Global channel or come on our Discord channel and ask questions, and we'll be there to help you out. Reach out to me in case you have any further questions, and I hope you like the workshop. Bye for now.